Hey, Jay here again. Muslims are always attacking my God. They're always attacking the principle that God cannot become a man. And I want to ask you Muslims, hold on a minute. Stop and think of what you're saying. You say that God cannot become a man. But then you say that God is omnipotent, He's omniscient, He's omnipresent. That means all the three omnis, He can do anything. And then you say that God can't become a man, which means He can't do everything. If you say that God cannot become a man, then you're basically self-contradictory, because then you're saying He's no longer omnipotent. That means He does have certain things He's not able to do. If that is the case, then stop and think of this internal contradiction and really ask yourself a real deep question. If God must always remain in heaven, must always remain totally other, separate, and He cannot participate in His own creation, then no longer is He omnipotent. See, my God can become a man. He did so from the very beginning. He did so right there in the Garden of Eden. Genesis 3. He's right there walking and talking in the cool of the day. Verse 8 and 9. He did so with Abraham in front of the tent of Mamre. He did so wrestling with Jacob. He did so there in front of the Israelites there in the desert. He did so with Moses up in this, Mount Sinai. That was God coming down over and over and over again. And He certainly did so 2,000 years ago when He came as Jesus Christ. The God of the Bible can become a man, which means the God of the Bible is omnipotent. That means He can do anything. And your God now is becoming very weak, very small. Now, maybe your God, the God of the Qur'an, the Arab God, God named Allah, maybe He can't become a God. Man, excuse me. Maybe He can't enter time and space. Maybe He can't participate with His creation. Well, then He's a pretty small God. Pretty small God. You need a bigger God. Come on home. Come on back to the God of the Bible, who is big enough to become a man. More than that, that means that we keep His omnipotence there, which means that we've got the bigger God. It's so good to know that God can become a man. And what's more important is, it's not me telling God what He can and can't do, as I hear my Muslim friends saying. Who are we? The audacity that we can tell God that He can't become a man. Certainly, I wouldn't dare tell God that. He can become a man. He did become a man. He can do anything He wants. And more than that, it is not against His character to do so. But when He became a man, He remained righteous. He remained still pure as a God. And He was a unique man. Now, come on home and learn about that God. A bigger God, a much bigger God. You need to come on home and find out that God, much bigger than the God you've got. Keep that God at home. Come on to the God of the Bible. His name is Yahweh, and it was Jesus Christ who took on that name. It was He who came 2,000 years ago. That's the big God that you need to know about. I'd love to share Him with you.